With the keynote address just ending, I'm here to recap all the important information that you need to know. Now, I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV since 1.0, and before that, I played Final Fantasy XI for about 15 years. Now, if you've never seen any of my Final Fantasy videos before, that's because I've never made any. This is my first attempt at a video, but one thing you will learn about me is that I respect your time, and I'm not going to sit here and ramble on for an hour about shit that don't matter. So with that said, let's get into it. Now, Dawntrail will be coming out sometime in summer 2024. When exactly? Who the hell knows, but look forward to it. Now, first up, we got the new job, which is Pictomancer, and seeing as they showed off the Ninja Turtles are named after famous painters. It's pretty obvious, right? I mean, Green Mage, come on, guys. Now, this is a magical range DPS. His weapon is a brush. He's going to paint you some pictures. There is no class requirements. Starting level is 80, and this will be unlocked in Gridania. Now, Yoshi P was embarrassed to show you what he would look like in this gear, so don't worry, I did it for you. Now, Pictomancer draws pictures and makes them become reality. It can draw weapons, landscapes, and enemies. Now, don't forget to click the icon in the bottom right corner of the screen so you can subscribe to my channel and I can bring you more pretty pictures like this. Next, they showed off this fuzzy cat girl, Wooklamot, I believe that's how they pronounced it, who will be arriving in patch 6.55 to lead us into the new world. 6.55 will be released on January 16th. Next, they showed us a map of North and South America, otherwise known as Terral. Now, both regions are separated by a large border bridge because Yoshi P just gets it. Looks like throughout this whole thing, you're going to see that there's two totally different cultures between North and South. But we'll check that out in a little bit. All right, now next they started showing off new areas, which they already showed before. But in addition to those, they showed the newest area, which is called Solution 9. This area is going to be in North Terral. And as you can see, it kind of looks like a cyberpunk type area. It looks like a giant PS5 with a skin on it in the middle. Everything's kind of digital here. I think we're going to go to the Matrix, guys. That's what it looks like. We're going into the Matrix. Now you could tell this was built by a completely different civilization, maybe the Allagans, who knows? But I guess we'll find out sometime in summer. Now, they did show off a few more areas outside of Solution 9. Feel free to pause the video and check them out. All right, next they showed off new allies, including the Pelu Pelu, the Moblins, and the Hanu Hanu, as well as a sketchy looking fellow in the middle with his sheep giraffe. And then they also showed off the Mamul-Ja Beast Tribe and the different character models for those. Next up, they reminded us that level cap will be raised to 100, so start leveling now if you don't want to be left behind. All right, the next slide is called Battle Content, and they could have just named this slide the same old shit because it just says, hey, we're going to have fates, we're going to have the hunt, we're going to have treasure hunts, and we're going to have quest synced side quests. Spoiler alert, guys, I bet they have tombstones and weekly lockouts as well. Please look forward to it. All right, next up, they showed clips from some of the new dungeons. And if you've been through expansions before and played Final Fantasy XIV, you already know what to expect. They're going to be pretty cool at first. We'll play them a few times while we're leveling our jobs, and then we'll completely forget about them. And eventually, they'll find some way to make us go back and do them again. Next up, they showed off a few new enemies in the game. On the left, you got Vala Garmanda. I think that's how you pronounce it. In the middle, you have the Eliminator. And on the right, you have the Incredible Hawk, or the Dominator, or as they call them, the Barrel Tender. Next up is for all of my antisocial friends out there. They will be expanding the duty support system, and Cryo will be able to join your party as a Pictomancer. And we'll have new gear and recipes as always. Then they showed off the job gear for Summoner, Samurai, Sage, Gunbreaker, Machinist, Reaper, Astrologian, and Paladin. Next, we have some expansive new lifestyle content. And basically what this is, it's called Cosmic Exploration, where they added Starfield to the game, and you're going to be able to visit other planets and complete missions with your crafter and gatherers, so you guys have something to do. Not gonna lie, sounds pretty cool. I'll probably check it out. Next, they showed off the new Alliance raid, which is Echoes of Vana'diel, and it's alliance with Final Fantasy XI. Anyone who played Final Fantasy XI has to be excited for this. They didn't give a ton of info, but they did show this new image, which has the Shadow Lord on it, and anyone who played Final Fantasy XI knows this is the last boss before you get into the Rise of Zilart expansion. And for those hardcore players, he was also Dynamis Lord. Really looking forward to this. Can't wait. Next, we have the 8-player raid tier, which takes place inside of a RTX 9090. For whatever reason, we're fighting inside of a GPU. Now, you can tell this is kind of in the Solution 9 area. I just hope the enemies have real cool moves like ray tracing and graphic rendering. I am glad they went with an original concept this time, though. Next up, for all you hardcore raiders out there, we have the Eden Ultimate coming up, which is titled Futures Rewritten Ultimate. Now, this is the only one one announced, but there was hints in the past that there will be at least 2 of these, so look forward to it. I personally never done Ultimates because I don't know if I have the patience for it anymore, but if I find the right team this expansion, maybe I'll go back and do some. Next, they announced that they will continue ongoing content updates, and this includes Blue Mage update, more Hildebrand adventures, new plans for deep dungeons, gold saucer updates, PvP updates, and new variant dungeons. Now, I know a lot of people will be excited for this one. They're going to be having new field operations similar to Eureka. I know this is something that was really missing in the last expansion, and everyone really wants this, so that's good news. With the popularity of Blue Mage, they decided to add another limited job, and congratulations, you can now be a Pokemon Master. So sometime in the 7.x series, they will be adding Beastmaster, which is pretty fitting for a limited job. Now, you can play Beastmaster with Blue Mage, and they're going to have specific content just for these limited jobs, and you can mix and match. So that should make things a little more interesting. Next up, they went into the graphical updates, and they showed images of every single race. Now, I'm not going to pause on these too long. I'm just going to post the pictures up here. Feel free to pause the video if you want to check them out. As a lot of people are aware, you will be able to dye your gear 2 different colors, and they showed off a few examples of how this will work. All you glamour junkies out there, get ready. It's about to be your time to shine. Now, with the new graphical updates, they did show the new minimum system requirements and recommended system requirements. So if you got a shitty PC or you're not playing on PlayStation or future Xbox, it's time to start saving your money. And speaking of Xbox, the new open beta for Final Fantasy XIV on Xbox begins in February. They went ahead and reminded us that the free trial for Final Fantasy XIV has been expanded to include Stormblood, so you can play all the way through to that expansion without having to pay for the game, and I recommend doing that if you haven't played this yet. Additionally, the Final Fantasy XIV and Final Fantasy XVI crossover is scheduled to release sometime in April. Next, they're showing off that they added new cat girls to the game. No, not that one. These ones. Now, Yoshi P did say in the past that this will be the last race that they add to this game. After this video, he said the same thing again, and then mentioned that, well, if you guys really want more, just go ahead and bug us enough and we'll probably do it. So by 9.0, you guys could probably get another playable race if you really bug them enough. All in all, I kind of like the way that the female Hrothgar look. I wish the male ones looked this way. For some reason, they look kind of different, but either way, pretty cool overall. And finally, before they ended everything, they showed us some new artwork, and that was pretty much it. Now, if you guys like this content and you want to see more like it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that like button, and as always, love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll see you on the next one.